Dr. John Gottman studied 650 couples over the course of 14 years. That's big. That's a lot of couples. And all of the information that he found, he condensed into some data and put it in a book called The 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work, because he found some pretty significant components to what made the marriage work and what was a predictor of divorce. Now, the predictor of divorce is one of probably raises some eyebrows, like, oh, I want to know what those are and how do we not do them, right? If the goal is to stay married happily ever after forever, then might it be helpful to understand what those predictors of divorce are? So there were several predictors of divorce, and one section of these predictors in particular has been coined the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Not the ones in the Bible, but in John Gottman's research and data that came out. So these 4 horsemen of the apocalypse are criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. And those kind of come in order. Criticism starts first, then contempt, then defensiveness, then stonewalling. And I just want to highlight criticism as the first one because it seems to be pretty common. I see it a lot in my own practice with couples, and criticism begins to erode the friendship and the fondness and admiration that a couple share. When you're feeling criticized, how might you react to that? There's a couple of ways you might react to that. One is maybe with contempt and with some finger pointing back. Oh, you think I don't ever help around the house? Well, you, right? And then another reaction would be very defensive, like, what are you talking about? Or, that's, I don't do that. So there is this effect of we're not meeting here. We're not able to have a conversation about something that is bothering me or that is bothering you if you come at me with criticism, right? So let me highlight the difference between a complaint and criticism. So complaint would say, there's no gas in the car. Why didn't you fill it up like you said you would? Complaint, right? Criticism, why can't you ever remember anything? I told you 1,000 times to fill up the tank and you didn't. You see the difference? So criticism is going to be more like always and oh, hi. Criticism is going to be more like always and never, and very global, very big, like one thing happens and now all of a sudden you don't do anything right. That's criticism. And really, there doesn't sound like there's a lot of room for negotiation or conversation or work in that, right? Because this person has already decided I am bad or I am wrong or I never remember. So the negotiation stops or the conversation stops. So one of my favorite antidotes to these 4 horsemen, I'll specifically talk about criticism, but this one goes with a lot of them. One of my favorite antidotes is curiosity. So you can never go wrong with curiosity. I'm wondering, if you have a therapist and you've heard that, that's probably accurate. I'm wondering what happened that you weren't able to get gas in the car, or I'm curious to know more about what was going on for you today. You shouted at me and that's really unlike you, or, something along those lines. So notice the curiosity doesn't come from a place of you always, you never, or I am better than this and you're the one that messes things up. It comes from a place of genuine, I want to understand, help me to understand. So that curiosity is one of my favorite antidotes to criticism.